Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on a program that's a set of tools for dulcimer players, and I'm trying to get this thing ready for a larger group to look at. And so one of the things we're going to do is look at the font size and along the lines of accessibility. All right, let's just kick off our run. Welcome, Mudshark. I see you there. Let's see. Overnight, I did go through the song list, and I've added about half of the ones I know. So this list is a bit longer than it used to be. But we are looking at, well, we had cranked it all up, all the way up, and seeing the impact. Okay, we decided this was acceptable. This I'd like a little more padding, but I think we know how to do it. We looked at this briefly. Yeah, so I think the thing we did on, I guess it was this. No. Where was that? Calendar? Yeah. We detected when the font size was pretty big, and we changed it from that picker kind of segmented picker, because that's not really, I mean, the size of that thing is not really looking that big. You know, we got a huge font here and a little tiny font here. So if you were doing this so you could read it, you couldn't read it. So let's go fix that. So we did it on the calendar. I'm just going to refresh myself on that. There's cache stuff. Yeah, it would be sort order. Basically, we just used an index. So we declared this environment variable and then detected which one it was. If it's smaller, we use the segmented picker and with a special background color. And if it's larger, we use the menu style picker. Now, it turns out you can't just make one picker and then wrap the style around it for whatever reason. So that's why it looks a little bit duplicated. I don't think I know a good way to get rid of that duplication. I was surprised by the complaint anyway. Okay, and so let's go find the one for, I think it's called All Songs something. Okay, yeah, there's a picker, it's segmented. All right, let's pull this one out. Going to do that for me? No. Okay. Oh, it is. Okay. Let's call this picker. And I lost it here. Okay, and we'll give ourselves the environment for that. Branches. Some view is a result of background. Some view, result of ignore safe area edges. And some view. Let's see if we can move that inside. We did some view. Some view, result of self.picker style, and some view, result of self.picker style. Okay. Why are you complaining? I mean, if I take this off, I think it still complains. Let's try extracting it and see if that helps any. One more complaint. Matching underlying types. Yeah, because some view and some view, they're totally different. Okay. That hurt it. Doesn't hurt that anymore. Huh. I don't know if this means going back to any view. Okay, I guess it likes that all right. What's the name of this picker? Should be a better name. Okay, sort order. No, I think I put two returns in and it still said some view versus some view. So I don't know. That feels... I would think if it got it to some view, it should be happy on both sides of the if branch. But you do have to make sure that the if contains compatible things. But I would think some view is compatible enough. All right, we are running. Okay, so we're in a super large size. Let's go look at first lines, name, source, notes. Okay, and then mountain, tab, name, source, tuning, tab. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I think that's good. Make song views, detect large font, and swap in a menu picker for the segmented picker. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I peeked back, get chord chart. I guess we didn't try this one at a super high or super high font size, because this is pretty well unusable. I'm not sure if my mouse pad thing is acting funny or if there's something else going on here. Okay. Yeah, so the bottom line problem, well, there's several. Okay, I think one issue is large names like F sharp or whatever, C sharp this probably is. They're too wide and it truncates them. And then the vertical line stuff, I think we hard coded that size. We may have to look at that. And then I think this line is being off center because just the way this thing is done, and they're overlapping. So really a mess. I think, yeah, we're going to have to draw the treble and bass vertically. All right, so let's record this somewhere. And also, I saw this. I'm not sure. I think this is another one of these simulator problems. It's talking about the menu heights in our menu formats. But okay, so let's get to the to do. Okay, so in general, we're doing large text support. First line's jam. Okay, we did this. Excuse me. Use menu style instead of segmented style when font is large. Okay, then the thing we noticed, the Chord Chart HD doesn't work with large font. Okay, now I think maybe that's huge font is kind of the problem. I think MD is still kind of just acceptable at this amazingly large size. I mean, if it's fret 0 through 10, a little overlap to the index on things, but not unbearable at all. D diminished. Yeah, so I think this one's okay. I'm just gonna run through all. Okay, this one was fine. That one we looked at. We looked at first line hammered. Okay. We hadn't looked at this. Okay, well that's I don't know why the index doesn't scale. Let's not forget that. I'm not sure if it's critical, but we'll at least note it. Okay. This one, I don't understand the wrapping strategy like this. Okay, I can't do anything with it. Oh, there it goes. It's just slow. Okay. So I get the dot, dot, dot. And it puts the real one in when it's editing. Okay. Just acceptable. Source. I guess there's no way to hyphenate that is the problem. Time signature tab 254. I mean, this text is probably not critical. I think this is just going to be ugly at this size. I don't see a good way around it. We could go to a different, instead of the form kind of thing, go to, I don't know, like sequential name of the field followed by the contents of the field or something. I'm not. I always have trouble separating whether I'm just tired or bored with it, or if it's just like, well, we have to compromise somewhere, and that was acceptable, so let's treat it as acceptable. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm saying it's just acceptable. Okay, this is okay here. All right, and then this one, you know, I'd rather, maybe I just need to put this in a scroll view. Okay. Let's see. So these are all kind of large text. That's a large text thing. This is another one. It's kind of a different issue. And we already did landscape view with one issue left. Okay, I think the credits one is easy. Let's see if we can get that done. Okay, ZStack. Well, I think we can just put it in a scroll view. I don't know what spacers do vertically, but we'll see. Yeah, that'll be okay. Okay, I think we looked at everything that way. Let me go back and make sure we got the landscape version of this. We looked at landscape with regular, but I don't think we looked at it here. Oh yeah, we did. We had this problem before. And again, that seems to be a known problem. Oh, this whole thing is not in a scroll view. That's a little annoying. Why does that work? Whoops. Well, that's moderately acceptable here. Funny, they hyphenate some things and they don't hyphenate others. All right, let's look at that all songs view again. So he's got a VStack with an HStack and a list. If I make this a scroll view, the problem is it's kind of nice to have those pickers locked in at the top when you want to change things. I went to all songs view. Oh, something's weird. Where is everything? I had trouble earlier. All right, let's... Well, I guess I don't care what we support, but let's get it back down to a reasonable size. I think I just saw a bug there. Filter looked a little big, but where are they? Okay, I'm gonna clear this. Am I getting an error about that? I'm getting that stupid menu constraint size. I hate messages like this. Okay. I cleared the database. Let's run this again. I don't know. My disk is so close to running out of memory. I just have to sit down and clean it out a bit. Oh, come on. Why? No complaints. I think there's maybe something about... No. I thought maybe there was something about restarting it. Like, I think I have to do this and then run. Put the picker in the radio button. Yeah, maybe so. Oh. Okay. What's another to do? Okay. Chord Chart HD. That's the one that's the worst. This one's a little annoying. This one's a little annoying. I don't know why. Yeah, so metronome. Okay. Let's look at this one first. Chord Chart HD. Okay, so the picker is okay. Oh, well, it's only in large sizes, so let's make a large size. Just crank it all the way. That was the worst. Okay, so we do have that index annoying. I just can't tell if this is a simulator issue or why it has so much trouble going where I want it to. Scrolling down. I don't know if we did something to say, like, make the whole thing represent the item, and that helped it when it was going to the top or bottom and going all the way to where it belongs. Like that's pretty good. That's not so good. That's not so good. I mean, if I want to look at 3, like, why is that scrolling down? I only scroll up and it scrolls down. Okay. But, yeah, so I think, again, we're just going to do, well, there is this thing called view that fits. Yeah, there it is. Evaluates children in the order you give them, takes the first one that fits, largest to smallest. Okay, so I think that's kind of what we want. If it doesn't, if this doesn't fit horizontally, then it tries this, and so we'll make 2 versions. Pick a radio button side by side in landscape view. Okay, let me mark that as a question to look at. Okay. Back to this thing. So it's the picker for the key, for the quality, chord chart shared view. I guess 1HD board is the thing that's not fitting. Yeah, this line I think is throwing that off. I'm going to take that off and see what happens. Sorry. That's better. I think that's as good as we could ask for. Okay. So let's go to 1HD board. Well, let's commit that. All right, 1HD board. Lazy ZStack. Well, it's kind of this. Yeah, for each bridge. So this one puts each bridge in a horizontal stack. I don't know. It would. Is there one that chooses HStack or VStack? Yeah. Okay. Well, I think the environment we're after is, I think that's back to that size thing. Okay. So layout. Okay. Well, where's the... So normally we want HStack, else VStack, but I gotta wrap that in any layout, I think. Okay, I think that's working in one sense. It's not working so well in the sense of the squeezing vertically, but I think that's self-induced because I'm pretty sure we did like a 50 pixel layout or something. Does that show up in here? No. Okay, so I think well, the circle position is a little weird. I would have thought the shapes would be over here a little bit. Again, I think we've kind of self-induced that. Okay, a little overlap to the index is annoying. Not fatal, but it does do treble and then bass. So I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. And we'll take that. So use dynamic, and the spacers didn't hurt, so that's good. Okay, now bridge layout. I think towards the bottom somewhere is, oh, row height. Yeah. Well, that's a constant here. Right, that is also a constant focus. A function of the font size, let's say. Okay, so, well, let's define a variable. I think we're going to look at this environment again. No. We're seeing that phrase in a lot of places. Okay, so let's see if we can get the row height a little more reasonable. Okay. I think that's all right. It's a little tight. Let's back off a couple sizes and make sure it's still reasonable. Yeah. He looks a little big even. Almost like a little more space there. Let's see if we can find the bend of the curve here. One more to it. Unfortunately, they don't tell us what size that is. Okay, I think that might be extra large. And this is large. Yeah. Well, what else we got? Let's see if we can find the knee of the curve here. Okay, so that's still the same. And I think that's acceptable. This one is a little bigger. And I think he's good. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't really know the answer. I wish this would tell you like larger, XX large, whatever. And give us some reference from the programming side. But I think this is probably could be tighter. I mean, I can do less than or equal and see if that looks too tight. I think the less than or equal will look okay, and then we'll move it up a size and it'll be happier. That's a little crowded looking. Yeah. I think less than was better. Okay. All right. Move it all the way up. Yeah, I think he's sort of just acceptable, just like the other one was just acceptable. But just acceptable is acceptable. It's not as pretty as it could be. All right. And then I think same thing for this. I mean, maybe we'd be better off just asking the font sizes, but I don't know. Well, just my guess. Okay, that moves it a bit here. Let's get down to a, whoops. Let's go down to here. No, that's too much. Too much. Maybe there's an environment variable for that. Font size. Maybe I should just examine how this is used. It's really in this section where we're placing these. We've got that row height as a constant height. Okay. Russ, welcome back, I guess. Let's see. So, a quick heads up what we're doing. I've been developing this set of tools for dulcimer players, and one of the tools is a chord chart. It's this one's for hammered dulcimer players, and this is basically the layout that they have for hammering on. We're playing with fonts and various accessible font sizes, and the problem I'm having is that this drawing looks good at the larger font sizes, but it's not very good at the smaller sizes. And I'm just trying to find the best way to get this. This picture is really kind of character graphics. These are just Unicode characters for the shapes. I don't know. We made them overlays because we might need to tweak them like up and down and stuff like that a little bit. But we're laying them out like so many pixels left or right of the center bar. And that interacts with the fact that if the font changes, then the length of the center bar changes. Yeah, these green ones are drawn over top. Actually, the white one too, I think, are laid over top of this. But this is really A4 dash dash dash. You can't see it. Dash 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 or something like that. D4. It's just the text of those things. It may be a foolish decision we made, but I was trying to do it in character graphics and keep it simpler. But This is not looking simpler. And so what we're doing to get around that is you can ask the environment, what's the type size? And it'll give you back like XL, XXL, headline, whatever it's set to based on your settings. You can control the font sizes. So if I crank it all the way up, these actually look okay. They're placed relatively far apart, and I think that's because this font size is probably 50 pixels or something, and putting it 36 away from the center bar looks great, but when it shrank down to that previous size, it wasn't so great. I don't want it to overlap with the text at all. And so somewhere in here, it starts overlapping. Yeah, I think this one. And then if I go down enough, we go down to a smaller size in our, we change this offset value so it's small enough. Now maybe, I don't know, I should go down all the way. Whoops. That was Chord Chart. Usually don't worry about the tiniest ones, but they probably have the same issue in the opposite sense. No, that's acceptable. I don't care if there's a little bit of brown visible on it or not. Yeah, well, I'm trying to be a little more diligent. The fact is, the people who use this, the average age is definitely on the higher end. And so I think there's a reasonable chance they will bump their fonts up a little. I don't think they'll bump them up all the way to, maximum. You almost can't read anything on an iPhone at that. It's like 4 words. But I'm going to have to be pickier on this. Anyway, I was hoping I could just get the size without doing Geometry Reader or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, you got to at some point. I'm not there, but I can see it coming. I was a coach, an Agile coach or XP coach, and I pair with people, and I've got people I work with that can read, 6-point font and, have huge amounts of stuff on their screen. And it's like, I can't do it unless I'm getting up to the screen so close, but larger than XXXL is pretty large. Yeah, well, we haven't looked at it on the iPad very much, and I think the font stuff will factor in there. But I don't know how to get the actual. I just want to get like, how big is this font? In this thing, and I was hoping there was an environment that would do it. Let me see. Somewhere I have a list of all these variables. Yeah, this is it. Environment values. There's a gazillion. Yeah, we need to use this one at some point. We don't yet. Font might do it. We'll see if font has the details on it. Yeah, so font gives us all these things, but I'd really like to ask, what's the size? I mean, you can create them. A width to use for fonts with multiple widths. I mean, maybe font. width. Oh, that sets it. I want to get it. Okay. A width to use for fonts with multiple widths. So, okay. So I think, is this getting the... Well... Explicit with value. So maybe I can ask font.width.value? I don't know. And I got to get the font first. So that comes from the environment. I think I'm using the default font. Okay, so, well, let's see what we can get. This is kind of an experiment, I guess. Yeah, that could be. I mean, I kind of don't want to. But it maybe there's more breakpoint. You know, like I'm sort of treating this as anything bigger than one font is use this size. Anything smaller, use this size. So kind of one breakpoint in that scale. But maybe I need a couple. I just don't know the names of these things. But really, I think that the offset is going to be like 1em width. You know, it's not going to be some crazy function of it. All right, but this environment font is optional, so we can't. Okay, let's. I don't know. I may ask this question a bunch of times, but let's print. Well, let's let equals font. Oh, dot point size. Set the width. A width of a character? It doesn't seem right. Seems like made up stuff. Okay. Back to this. So font. Sets the font. Oh, maybe font. Let's try that. Font dot width. Add arguments after the type to construct a value of the type. No. Sorry. Okay. Font resolves a font's value at the time it uses the font and environment. It's a late binding token. A width for fonts that have multiple widths. Does this mean anything? Size is font.width. Oh. Well, that might be... Let's try that. I think maybe that would be... I don't think it's going to need a lot. I think it's mostly close enough. Okay, so let's try this. Else, if dynamic type size is less than dot accessibility 3. Try 4. I don't think this has a preview now. Yeah, I suspect you're right that that's what those are, because I think that's when you're flipping on, when you flip this larger accessibility sizes. I think that's what you're allowing in there, is those fonts. What's the matter? Have I frozen my simulator? There we go. Okay, so I think let's turn him off and try this. Make sure this range is looking okay. Yeah, he's not too far over. Okay, and we'll work our way back. I don't know. Yeah, that's okay. I think this is the default. And we got 2 on 1 horizontally again. Okay, so I think we're okay for this smaller font sizes. All right, now let's try these. Nope. Let's try this and then turn this on. Okay, we'll go up a little bit. I don't know, this is admittedly tedious. Okay, yeah, we triggered the bigger one. I think this is accessibility 4. Okay. And 5. Yeah, I think that'll work. It's... Thank you. All right, this one we can rewrite. This one's a little more. At least they're comparable, so they're in a range we can do with them. All right, so make offset for hammered dulcimer chart so the shapes don't overlap the center or the text. Okay, so let's flip this around to the positive side. Make HG work with large font. Show bridges separately if needed. Adjust row height and shape offset based on font size. Okay, index. So let's go see our index. Oh, we got an actual system-sized font there. Well, maybe this is a case for the relative font size stuff. Where did I see that? It was somewhere on the way here. Custom string size relative to font.style. Oh, that's custom. What about system? I don't know. I wonder, let's just see what this does if I take it out. I feel like somewhere maybe well, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, that might be like body or something. Maybe I could say font body. I don't know. It seems like, are these... No, that's boldness. Okay. Design. Yeah, the size is just flat out. It's funny I can't do system fonts relative to the size because that's kind of what I want here. All right. But yeah, this thing is chopped. Okay. Yeah, let's try it like that. But font is footnote. And I don't know, we got monospaced before too somewhere. I don't think I need monospace. I don't even want that because I've got VII and stuff like that. If they can fit smaller, let's keep them smaller. All right, so even footnote will get bigger in when the accessibility size is 5, like this. Did I impose a width? I don't think I did. Scroll view reader. I've got padding. There is something to make text squeezing. I don't know how to say it. Avoid text truncation. Yes, that's what I want. Fixed size. I think that will... Okay, minimum scale factor is what I was thinking of. I think fixed size will mean it overwrites outside the boundaries, even if it doesn't. That's text. Okay, let's see if that's enough to do it. I'm trying to avoid those dots. Oh, here's the example. Yeah. Oh, I could use views it fits. Okay. Very long text that might be truncated. Fully displays even if it overflows the screen. Okay, that really is not going to be helpful. Well, this is closer. Why is 5.7 there? Oh, one's capital. Why is the width like it is? Let's see who calls this thing. Maybe they impose that. Yep. Okay. I don't know if that's going to mess up the smaller views, but let's see if that's enough for this one. Again, my line of this is kind of the VII diminished. If it can fit that in one line, that's good. It can't. Okay. Let's move this down. Okay, so is this acceptable? It's not ideal, that's for sure. He's already kind of encroaching. VII like that is really not great. Maybe just, let's see. We'll bounce it down a couple. And that's more of a realistic size, and it still doesn't quite squeak. I can say line limit. Maybe the bold is too much. Let's see how that looks. I might go to 0.4. I don't think I got the bold in. Oh. That's just too little. That I can live with. Let's push this up to the full size. Oh, that one still just doesn't quite do it. I don't know. Is footnote the smallest? Do you know? It's still not going to do it. Call out, is that smaller? Or caption? Oh, caption 1, caption 2. Let's try caption 2. I mean, I just need a tiny bit more. Okay, am I on the large? Yes. Okay, let's go down. Yeah, I think that to me is probably a reasonable, if somebody wanted a large size, that's probably about as big as they'd go. Oh, cool. Thank you. That looks okay to me. I mean, I like the bold. But I think this will be okay. A little squeezed. But I don't think this is bad at this font size. And then I think go back to the normal one, which is either here. I think that's a little small. Yeah, that doesn't show up as well. I mean, it feels usable. Yeah, I think we'll take it. Let's do a major. Okay. Let's try center. Yeah, that's probably true. I don't have it in here, do I? No. Okay, well, let me try the centered alignment. I think I tried it and rejected it before, but let's. Well, I don't think that is centered. Oh. Yeah, I think that's all right. Okay. ZStack is there. I think I can take the HStack out now too. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess if we simplify it a little, that's something. Yeah, maybe maybe I could set the weight back to bold if it's big enough. Yeah. Well, I think you're right. Maybe the breakpoint idea that we used before would be the way to go. Bridge layout. What these are called, textile. Oh, he's a font. What does the constant rectangle pose now? I'm not sure. It's funny it's on each one, isn't it? Let's see if we can use this footnote dot bold. Is that still a font? Otherwise, caption 2, and we're squeezing. Okay, I'll do this one first, and then we'll try taking out the content shape and see if that helps anything. Well, he's a little bigger and a little bolder, I think. I don't know if that's accessibility 1 or not. Oh, he's still bold, I think. Okay, let's turn on larger sizes. And he's not. Okay. Content rectangle. Let's take that out. Oh, right. I think the rectangle is just the size of the text. I don't know. It may be centering. It makes it just easier to tap too. Nope. It does still have a function. Okay. That's what that was. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I see what you're saying. We had spacing in there before and it was doing it around the spacing. Oh, and now it's not. Because that's hard to hit, that skinny eye. Yeah, maybe I put the HStack back then. With spacers, both sides to center it. Well, that was the whole label, right? Was just that text. So I don't think there's anywhere else to move it to. Although maybe the whole thing could get it. Okay, that works there. Oh, it needs to be inside the button. Okay. All right. Well, it's at the top level. I mean, it's the outer level of the label. That looks okay to me. This is still a little tight looking. We should look at the... who else has the index? Is it the chord chart? Yeah, see, those are a little squeezed. Let's see how this looks bigger and smaller. And the index is bigger here. It's eating into that namespace a little. You know, the parens are covered. Mostly the board is not, so that's okay. And that's G sharp diminished. Yeah, I don't know that I can do much on that. I mean, I think you could rotate it and I think it looks okay. The numbers are small in that view for sure. Well, the other thing is, I mean, this is a ZStack. It's like, do I really care about the floating kind of nature of this? I could force it to do an H stack instead of a Z stack, and then we'd had the main view on the left with this probably stuck to a fixed size or something. I mean, we have it there. That's Chord Chart MD. What's Chord Chart HD doing? Oh, he's okay. Let's make this 40. Make it a little bigger and see what we think. Go this way. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could stand those letters to be the numbers to be a little bigger, but the space they have, they just couldn't get that much bigger. All right, that gives us this G sharp. Is G sharp diminished? They're all different sizes. Although it's not so bad because the sharp ones are a little less, kind of like the black keys, you know, a little less big. Let me try. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, the size gets passed in. All right. Modify vertical index with a width. Okay. Frame width. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me just try it with an H stack. Hopefully he takes the rest of it. Yeah, let's see if we can do that. I don't know if the tuning can squeeze it in. Nope, not acceptable. Okay. All right. All right. I think that we have this to a reasonably acceptable level. Make index adjust as size changes. Okay. Let's take a break and then we'll come back and see what we can do for the tuning chart on the mountain dulcimer. I think that's tuning MD. No. No, I have to look. Chord chart. MD. All right, 3 or 4 minutes. We'll be back. All right, welcome back. Let's see. You say the ZStack contains a view where the index is right aligned. Okay, so he's ZStack. He's got an alignment top. Yeah, so I don't want the... Oh, I want the index relative to the top. That makes sense to me. I mean, he's centered vertically. This stack alignment center, I don't think that one really matters because I'm aligning each one there, and it didn't seem to help. I'm not seeing what would make that right aligned. Also, I think this is just giving it 50%. That seems really odd. Because this thing has a frame width. I don't know why that made an issue. All right. well, maybe before we do the mountain dulcimer, I did see another thing I don't like. I think that's relatively easy to fix. These, I think they should put their breaking spaces after the semicolon and not in the middle of the thing. I would rather take 4 rows and have it show than not. So let's find that. Is that chord chart shared view? Yes, that's this. Okay, and then let me find a non-breaking space. No. Narrow no break space. I think that's the one I want. But the thin one's promising too. Okay, so that should take 4 lines instead of 3, but they make a better view. Well, so much for that theory. Why doesn't that do that? No break space 00A0. Okay. Well, I think that's what we want, but it's not doing what we want. I'm skeptical that this will work any better. Is this, yeah, that's all text plus. Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice. I will definitely have to give that a good read. Halfway down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice find. Probably suggests there's a whole bunch of stuff here I should be reading. All right. This did not do anything. Okay, so they expressed something I want. I'll leave it, but it's not not going to have any impact, at least until they update that. Okay, symbol key, chromatic notes, one chord view. Fretboard view, that's the one. String shape path, stroke string path. Oh, not strings of letters, the actual strings. Okay. Fret indices. System size, font size. Well, let's try just .caption or caption 2. Or maybe this is caption 1 and these. Font has no member caption 1. Oh. Okay, draw strings, draw tuning. That's the one I want. That was tougher. Okay, we'll make this .caption 2. Probably needs a grid. Yeah. Except I don't want it to wrap. I don't mind it being when it mostly fits, it's okay to me, even if it breaks somewhere a little weird, but I don't know. We'll see what it looks like again. Well, that's not so good. That's way big. We'll try it down at a normal size. Right. Now that looks all right there. Let's go see that symbols. Yeah, when this fits on one line, I don't mind it. But when it breaks lines, it'd be nice if it broke after a semicolon. Even just in general. So what's that gonna do? I think the fact is this just cannot be. I don't think those numbers could get any bigger. Like in here, 6, 6.5, 7. You might be able to get something, but you need a space really between the 6 and the 6.5. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, some of this may be dependent on those font sizes too. Yeah, I'm gonna revert that one. I mean, there may be something that could be done. Let me put it back to a bigger. No, I didn't run. Oh, yeah. I mean, given the board is going to be this width, I just don't think you can do it. Less of an issue there. Yeah, I'm going to let that one go. Okay. Okay, large text support. Okay, I think well, no, we haven't done this one. All right, so this was the logo took a different approach. So instead of a ZStack, we switched to a background entry. Yeah, I think you're right. The board layout would have to be reworked. You could probably do a little, but I don't think we can use those relative sizes because we just have to cap them. Even with a bigger board, well, I guess even tweaking stuff, there's just only so much room to grow horizontally. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a bit rigid. We will see. I mean, I'll get the feedback, I hope. You know, and if people just like, I could believe they're just going to rotate it sideways and say, oh, the font's too small, you know. Some views just kind of prefer to be horizontal, and the hammer dulcimer prefers to be vertical, I think, but maybe not. Okay. So yeah, so we just did background rounded rectangle with a fill. And I guess I got the same. Let's find those tiles. Okay, yeah, so there's the ZStack with a rounded rectangle tile. Okay, so let's just turn this into a background. Well, that's not as helpful. Okay, where was it? Logo. Background rectangle, rounded rectangle with a fill. And we may have a border too. Rounded rectangle with a stroke. And a fill. And then I think we just totally went away. Totally remove the ZStack. Okay, that can work. We want to put that min width back on, I think. Min width, bin height, and some padding. Okay. Now I don't know where that goes. If that's on the whole thing. I guess let's find out before I go too far down. Well, I don't know if that did anything. I don't think so. Can I put that on the frame fill? The background, rather. Yeah, that's enforcing it. They get some character, I guess, being different. And let's put some padding in here. And I'm going to start with... I'll start with 20, just to make sure we can see it. Now, I don't know if that can bump it width-wise to go to a different mode, to single columns. No, actually 20 is not a bad. I'll maybe do 16. I thought I was being outrageous, but it actually looks pretty good like that. And nothing's going to constrain them to be the same size or anything like that, which, it's okay. Okay, we're in a pretty high, I think we're accessibility 3 or 2. Max size. Well. I mean, I would rather have this. Maybe I can constrain these to not break, or I don't want. I would rather this would just be bigger and just say chord chart and not worry about it. He's going to need 2 lines, but 3 lines? Well, let's put a little bit of stuff on the, I don't know if that's in vertical label. Minimum scale factor, padding 2, font title. Line limit. reserve spaces. Oh. Yeah, that's what I would like it to do. I'm not sure how to force it to do that. I don't understand why it's not. Okay, there's 3. Like, what if I put 2? Oh, I think we'd get this. It would shrink the font down a certain amount. We had a good resource on that at one point. Yeah, how to suppress line breaks. Yeah. See if it fits. Okay. Yeah, so it's squeezing out information. Line limit font. Yeah, I don't know if there's an advantage to the order. Doesn't matter. Well, I don't want that in general, though. And this is at the big font size, right? But this should still accommodate whatever it fits. I specify a min width. I don't specify a max width. I specify a min height. Maybe a little taller would be worth it. But truncating is just not what I want. I would rather it says. Yeah, I don't really understand why I'm not saying if the font's a certain size. Like, you would think the font would want to go to its natural size. I got the minimum scale factor. Where's that width again? That's in tile. Minimum height. I'm going to make this a little bigger. And line limit, I think 3 might be a better limit. But truncation mode. Yeah. How about none? The irony is it's not too big. We could. What if I put a max width of 320? Okay. So minimum scale factor lets it shrink instead of just chopping. Let's do it one at a time. Max width of 320. But I would have thought it should treat max width as infinity now and think it should do whatever. Well, yeah, so he just loses it, but I can try the max width thing. I don't really like the height going up. Oh, maybe it's the max height that should matter. Oh, you got to put min and max widths. Okay, whatever. No, I think I just did this without running it. Oh. He just doesn't want to get wide. Because the lazy VStack thing should be fine with that. Okay, max width 300. Let's make it 500. Like, why aren't you stretching horizontally? He just doesn't want to. Okay, I don't think that's doing it. And we still have this back to minimum scale factor. Line limit 3. Well, they all fit. This is the biggest font size, I think. And let's go to like work our way down. That's a little squished. Let's put a little padding on the bottom of this thing. That's this. Maybe it's gonna go down. I can live with it, but it's not ideal. Okay, well, there's a little now. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. I believe we're using one of those. Let's see, tile. No, content view. Yeah, lazy V grid. Do you think there's a difference with H grid? It's a little bit of a lie, but that's true. How's it looking this way? I don't know why they overlap even. That's kind of weird. Oh, the width is designed for... I made it 160. I don't know why it would overlap though. I may go back. So it looks like it's mostly just drawing horizontally and not wrapping at all. I don't know where everybody is. It's like they're not scrolled. No, it's just a regular scroll grid. All right, let's go back to this. This becomes columns. I don't want that spacing 10. I guess that's doing the spacing horizontally. Huh. Now he's got the spacing issue. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let's revert this. Content view. Okay, that looks better. Let's make sure this is still okay. Yeah. It is nicer to me aesthetically if they're the same size, but varying based on things is okay. It's okay. I mean, they're supposed to look like little markers. I don't know if I should give them some shadow, but Yeah, I'm good. All right. Sorry, to-dos. Okay. 15 minutes left. I think we'll save this as an option for tomorrow. This populate list of songs with first lines. That's me typing in songs. I typed in about half of them before, maybe a third. Okay, but yeah, let's run with an iPad and just see how far off we are. Okay. This is iPhone 16. Well, let's take the big one first. This is gonna take 5 minutes right here, just starting. Unfortunately, even though it's simulating an M4, it's not going to simulate it faster than an M4 runs. Looks like we have run this before, though, so that's something. Now why are you funny? Okay, well, those are motley but workable. Let's take them all one at a time. This just goes to the browser, so that's nice to know. Okay. Whoops, that's not the rotate. Not much difference. We don't care about this one. Festival calendar. Well, I can see you'd want your font a little bigger. That back, I really wish I could do something about that. I don't know. Might be worth the trouble. Now this doesn't look as nice. The segmented thing doesn't look as nice to me. Oh, I guess it's the same, isn't it? Huh. Hadn't noticed. All right. Landscape. Come on. There you go. This one. Okay, well that feels a little tight. I mean, yeah, it was necessary on the phone. This is almost too open. What font size do we have set here? I haven't tried voiceover. That would be another thing to try. Accessibility. Display and text size. Whoops. Come on, simulator. Oh, that's really weird. Because we did view that fits. No, we did layout. Okay. Let's see. Go. Oh, you're right. There is a way to get the actual size. Physical size. But still, like, I don't see why. I guess I got to look at the code again. Chord chart. Bridge layout. So I think I'm less than XX large. How did we... I'm sorry, what did we do to go to bridges? We got ZStack. Oh, that's one bridge layout. Oh, X large. Yeah. I mean, if it's iPad, well, I don't know. There's probably a quality, like, that used to do, like, you know, this is large, small, and this is, you know. Oh, okay. I do think we can. We're probably depending on the wrong thing for that. I mean, if it's rotated, like, I don't know if we can get the form factor or something in the environment, but that's just too aggressive. It maybe XX large will look better on the other or something too. We'll have to see, but I'm not going to solve it. I'm just going to identify for today. All right, I guess I'm distracting myself. Okay, index is too small on the iPad. Oh, come on. Well, that's a little domineering. And I guess I could do a UI kit call if I had to. Yeah, these could definitely be bigger. I mean, everything could be bigger. I wonder, maybe a max width would be an improvement. Okay. Unfortunately, I somehow have trashed my database. Those three. Okay, I got to figure out that. I don't know if this sounds similar. Yeah. Okay. He looks a little crowded, considering he's got so much room. I don't think those look bad. I mean, they're size-wise. That one looks all right. Bigger touch things wouldn't be a bad thing here, though, either. Okay, well, it's working. And credits. Okay. I'm not quite sure what I want to do there. Okay. Okay. So I would say on the iPad is pretty well acceptable. I mean, not ideal, but acceptable for a test run with people. Yeah. So I think we'll focus on these two tomorrow. Maybe the metronome, that one was totally not workable, and investigate the songs missing. So we'll have to check song views on iPad with actual contents. Okay. Let's see. So anyway, I think that'll wrap it for today. I'm back 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. I think I'm going to have to go to a more flexible schedule, though. I don't think I'm going to try and maintain this schedule during the week next week and going forward. After we get this thing ready for beta, I think I may do more mornings my time, or more just kind of random. I've got some stuff to do for the corporate side from my daughter's company. I'm not sure. I don't think there's any issue about sharing what we do with that, but I may do some of those there. And then the other thing I want to do is we've built 2 or 3 projects that seem almost shippable. We had the word game with the twisting in it. That feels very close to me, although I did see a weird bug, and I'm not sure. Something seemed to lock up after a few games. And then we had the kaleidoscope, and then maybe one other thing that I thought were releasable with some amount of work. The release process it's not programming heavy. There's just a lot of, you got to take screenshots, you got to create certain pages, you got to set this, you got to write advertising text and so on. I don't know if maybe I'll broadcast it, and if nobody shows up, I'll know it's not worth the time. But I do think over the next few weeks, that's the kind of stuff I want to do, is some combination of that. And maybe there'll probably be more work on this as I get feedback from people. So, but anyway, I will be back tomorrow. Thanks for helping today, and catch you tomorrow, I hope. Bye-bye.